Hello, hello, my friends. Hope we're doing well today. If you're here in the future, welcome back. Thanks for watching. I really want to build the library. We're like right on the edge of actually having a proper functioning library. We just need the workbenches and stuff like that. We'll get this tower over here properly going now. Okay, just enclosed it to make sure that we'd be safe. Yes, I definitely want that to be going. It occurred to me that I could be doing this a different way than I have been. See, because I was going one by one, because they'll block off their ability to place one block by placing this block instead of this block first, right? But if I suspend the construction until they've built the block I want them to, we should be fine. Just in case, I'm still gonna leave them some clear space at the top of the stairs. Yes, if we suspend the construction of these, then we can just pop up here and resume construction instead of having to place it every time. Little stuff like that. We have no more grapes. How about some rope breeds then? Looks like we've got a good garden going. We could even expand it probably once we get enough blocks together. Feels like they are spinning thread more often. See, them having to go from over here to the stairs here, and then over to this loom. Yeah, we've yarn into cloth. I wonder who's on that. I can't check. It doesn't look like. I'd have to hunt down the task probably. But we can just keep an eye on who shows up. No, he was just dropping something off, it looked like. Like, if we're growing the silk stock faster than we're growing, like, yarn, what are they calling it? What are they calling it? There's pigtail cloths, there's llama wool cloths. Got you. Yeah, see, we have a lot of silk compared to wool. We're also making all kinds of stuff out of wool. Yarn. They call it multiple different things in different places. Ah yes, the Farmers Guild Hall wants to be a grand guild hall. We'll have to give them a pedestal. Here. Pedestal there. Pedestal there. They are actually eating their meals in here with the pigs. Felt satisfied after teaching milking. Okay. Okay. See, I feel like the Farmers Guild Hall might be a good place to set up animals that need to be tamed later. Because there will be a phase where they're in cages, and there will be a phase where they're attached to chains and stuff like that. I feel like at least the cage ones, it would be good to set up here, but we're going to need to move the pigs for that. Now the dwarves, so far as how intellectual our dwarves are, they really like reading the books. But we don't really have supplies to have them making the books right now. That's what I'm wanting to set up for them. Now we have a lot of marble compared to anything else. Oh, that is making me cold just to listen to it. I do not like that sound. Yes, I hope everybody is keeping warm. And that I have a bunch of friends and not a bunch of friendsicles. We're getting lots of visits from generals and stuff like that now. Let's see. Is the queen happy with her dining room yet? No. Not enough, huh? If we add more chairs, will it be enough? It's gonna depend on how nice they are. Oh, more baby llamas. Swords dwarf growing attached to a steel short sword. Good stuff. Fishery workers want a grand guild hall now. Why do the farmers get one? Is this the fishery workers? No, this is the fisher dwarves. This is the fishery workers. Well, that's a bit annoying. Okay, we're gonna have to remove the stockpile for now. You know what? We'll give them marble. Their stockpiles get marble blocks. At least some of them. It's gonna be a mixture. Don't know why. I just have the inclination. Put a door there. I feel like the more doors, the better. No, I said more doors, not more door. We can also add more stuff to this display. Sure, there's plenty to put there. I'm gonna check. There's a stockpile that should have all of that stuff, yeah. It's not the most secure stockpile. I might make a locked room specifically for this. Just open it up when there's stuff to put in there. These are coconut palm earrings. Let's give them those. And we got tiger iron earrings as well. I'm guessing those have been placed. Man, look at all the dead cave spiders. That's upsetting. We could have so much more silk if the cats weren't absolutely destroying the cave spiders. We have a cat problem to the point where I'm thinking about making a cat room. They're kind of messing things up for us. If we ever really want good silk production that we don't have to send them out into the caverns for, then we just need to contain the cats somehow. It'd be nice if I could assign them to a bedroom without making it a pasture zone. Or like assign them to a dwarf in a way that mattered for that. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to go out here. There we go. There's a mule. Some cows, another mule, a donkey, a goat, a llama. There's so much just wandering around our fort. Kind of nice to have some stuff wandering around in there, just in case we get raided in a way where all of this gets killed. But we'll still have the pigs at the very least. And the birds. We won't be wanting for meat proteins, you know? If we've got bacon, we'll be fine. Someone has a pet pig that's just following them around. Some of the stuff underneath the fish barrels they couldn't reach. Maybe they'll be able to move them around now. Yeah. They just kind of shuffle things around. There we're getting some clothes made. The Sprayed Company. Which one's the Sprayed Company? Ah, the Fishery Workers Guild Hall is called the Sprayed Company. That actually makes good sense. It's kind of funny. All right. Our fish stockpile back down. Just the unprepared fish I want there. And then over here, yes, we're allowing prepared fish. Alright, now over here. The Hall of Lobsters. Doesn't actually need all that much value to bump it up. So, actually, what do we have in our stockpiles? A limestone crown. They can have a limestone crown in here. Doesn't really relate to the guild hall itself, but it's a nice thing for them. Yeah, more loincloths for the dwarves. That should make some of them happier. And see, it's getting grabbed up from the stockpile. Or actually, the stockpile would be here. Yeah. It's probably not even making it to the stockpile realistically. They're probably grabbing it right off of here as soon as it's made. Yes, I'm gonna check up here. Yeah, this is gonna feel much nicer. Goes faster that way. Did we get even more migrants? This is getting ridiculous. Ah! Swordmaster has bestowed the name... Oh, I don't know what that means. Upon an iron shield. Not as good as if it was a steel shield. They don't like to let go of things that they've gotten attached to. Like, that's now their preferred shield. Razor Web, that's what he's named it. Spoiled Smokes, the equivalent length, the Trite Shriek, Spurned Tax. Okay, these are some good weapon names, to be fair. I'm liking their style. Oh, I think I want to make another way up. This feels kind of too far out here. I guess it works though. Like, that's far enough that we definitely want an entrance closer here. It's 10 by 10. How did I do this? 2 and then... Okay. I guess it just widens back out. I don't like that it goes wide then narrow, but it can't really be helped with what I've done there. We can have some 4x4s there. A little bit smaller, but better than nothing. These can be big. Depends, do I want to fill in this space? We'll go 4x4. There's gonna be some awkward spaces here. Then this has to go over here. This has to go here. Yeah, I kind of did that randomly. Okay. This is gonna line up weirdly. Yeah, that should line up. Yeah. Okay. A few slightly smaller rooms works out. It explicitly says on the manual to not use on the face. Oh no. If it says specifically not to use something on your face, then you should probably listen to it. Huh. Awesome. Hey, Guildhall agreement with the Hall of Lobsters has been satisfied. We'll have a bunch of happy dwarves from that. This doesn't line up. It's only by one, though. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Technically could do bigger ones there. If we continue over here like this, what does this look like? So far that looks good. But it's... yeah, looks fine. Okay, I've got my outlines. That feels good. There's just a tiny bit of extra space there. We could make some bigger ones. We've got some smaller ones. We may as well do some random bigger ones too. I don't like the empty space, you know? Yeah, I think I'm gonna let them dig it. I dig it. You know? Generally, professionals are gonna be good at their job, you know? I know that whenever I have to get blood work done, I always want to go to a phlebotomist. Like, I want to go to the lab. I don't want to deal with a nurse. I want to deal with somebody who does that as their job all the time, preferably. But yes, you must pay them for the work. Okay, they're leaving stuff on the floor of the inn rooms because they don't have cabinets and stuff. I guess let's give them some cabinets. Why not? Hotel rooms have like little drawers and stuff like that. We can make them all match because we have enough dolomite stuff. back up here. Yeah, that's going much faster. I'm less reluctant to go up and deal with it because it's real fast to do. So that's gonna get done faster. How's our plants doing? We're out of those. Let's have some red spinach. And potatoes. Oh wait, we're already doing potatoes there. Let's have lettuces. We are turning some of it into food instead of drink when we could be making it into drink. I caught it in time this time though. We're cooking some of the drink still. Alright. That should help our drink. We've got a bunch of marble again, so we can start making this nice. Eventually, the queen will be happy enough that she will not cause us too much trouble. They still want a bunch of stuff, too. Once we get this going, I want to put, what are they called? Windmills. I want to put windmills up here on a tower. And then make it so that the power routes down here. So that we can have all our crafting stuff for books in here. Just gotta remember what all we need. So I remember we need a crafting table for... what was it? I'm gonna go to the Craftsdorf workshop and see what I can put in for work orders. So there's stuff relating to books and scrolls and stuff like that. Oh, you know what? I think scroll rollers. Yes, scroll rollers was the easiest thing, making scrolls. What else? What else? Book bindings. Yeah, there'll be several parts that we need to be able to make certain things. It'll be easier once we have workshops down and stuff like that. What are they called? We've got codexes. Codex. So that's what I look up. Not there. It has been a while since I've done this. We have so many gemstones. We've got some honeycombs and stuff like that now. I think I will look that up real quick. Okay. We need a screw. Yeah, it was Kerner millstone, screw press, quires. That's what it was called. A quire. Is it here at the Craftsdorf workshop as well? Yes. Okay. Okay. Now that I remember the term that they were using for it. I'm gonna put a bunch of stuff for that up here. Like, I'm gonna put stockpiles and all of that. We'll put it there. That feels right. Okay, so here... I feel like I want a decent amount of space for the sheets of paper. Parchment. Then I suppose it'll be under finished goods. Codices there are under here. Thinking the book covers and stuff like that. Not sure where they're gonna be storing those. Let's try it, I suppose. I'm not seeing anything else that could count as it. Yeah. See, like the scroll rollers and all of that. You look under tools for quires and scrolls. Okay. Tools. That's not on here. Is it? See, that's for trading. Okay. I might just have to have it. Accept stuff only from the only from the Craftsdorf bench. You know, the craft bench. Only from the Craftsdorf workshop that is making the stuff. Which means I would need to bring some rocks and stuff up here for them. But we'll see. Let's see if this works. There's gotta be a way to make a stockpile for this. There's gotta be a way. have a little rock stockpile here for the type of stones that we want them making it out of. Yeah, it can be any of these types of things. We don't want to make it chalk. I feel like that would just be horrible, a chalk scroll roller. A scholar is visiting. They heard about our library already. Hopefully they don't steal any books since we can't copy them yet. Hey, they're already finished with that over here. Can get them to build the last 2 blocks here. Ah, yes, let's see. How is the mining going? If we run into any water. No, that is good news. No more lettuces already. Let's go prickleberries. Hey, a mandate ended. That means happier dwarves. Stray donkey hair. We do have hairs on here, not just wool. Ban on certain exports. Always the Duchess. Export of menacing spikes prohibited. Make me many menacing spikes, and don't you dare get rid of them. Yeah, I mean, I'm already behind the menacing spikes idea. I think I know where she's going with that. It's not a bad idea. We are in the phase of beginning to shape the environment. Making that tower over on this end for a reason. In fact, I think I will actually add floor. This is something that we can modify slightly as we go along. Another thing we can do in here, I feel like we could have a nice, decent-sized discussion table. Discussion, debate, whatever they feel like. I always forget that the chairs are gonna make it go out a bit further. pretty sure that's the right room. Is this the mayor or Duchess's room? Okay. She'll want more than that, but they both actually still want those. Oh, there must have been too many rocks on top of it. They couldn't be asked to move them. I'd like my dwarves to have more armor than they do currently. Oh, you want cut gems, square blocks, a forest, stacked leather. Oh boy. I don't know if I'm gonna find everything that you want, buddy. A forest. A picture of a forest. We can at least get this one making scroll rollers. And let's see, some scrolls. Yeah, that's going to be the most simple because we just need paper and scroll rollers for that. The codices. This part's not so complicated. But then we need all kinds of other stuff, like bind the book. We need written on quires, we need book bindings, we need thread. Thread is going to be a little bit annoying. Is that under cloth? Yes, it's under cloth. We're going to have several places that are going to want threads. Including the clothing, but also the hospital. You know, because they gotta sew the dwarves up too sometimes. Alright, we can start getting some doors in here. Now the hospital will actually be were creature. Not proofed, but prepared. You know, like, it's not a great option, locking them in the walls and no longer having that hospital room. But also, it's better than having them loose. Running amok. Many, many blocks. It's a good thing we actually get multiple blocks out of each boulder. Otherwise, we'd have a very empty floor along here somewhere. Let's see, what am I allowing on here right now? Don't want them to have sheets down here. Don't really want them to have weapons down here either. I'd prefer if they didn't store ammo down here, but I don't know if they're actually going to move it up to the barracks. Okay, they are starting to put bolts in there. They don't appear to be using the weapon and armor stands. But then kind of have a weapon shortage. We weren't fast enough for him. But at least the Metalsmith's Forge is free now. Oh yeah, blocks, not floor. Floor is what I'm making. Not enough blocks, never enough blocks. Oh wow, we have a lot of prickleberries. We must be foraging up a lot of them. The flying squirrel. There's got to be some of these that we haven't let be available as pets. Something. See, all of these are available. They could be adopting them. They just haven't. Hey, Duck Bear's still going. Duck Bear got adopted. Huh. That or was adopted before and I just didn't notice. Wow, we have a lot of alpaca. That is a big old herd. It's actually easier to see which ones are male by which ones so we can chop in a different sense. Which ones can we give two different kinds of chop? Kelders need work too. Oh, they're putting all their weapons down. They are actually storing their stuff here. Looks like we have some lashers now. We took the goblin whips. Imagine getting whipped with your own whip. Couldn't be me. These dwarves are something else. Do we have enough to do just one more layer? So I would like floor in there. Now that we have floor there, they can actually just build that whole row. Makes building there easier. Okay, these are still being powered. I wonder if we can completely enclose these and they still move. That's so strange to me. Maybe they're taller than they look like. We've got more kittens. There's plenty of stuff to do. Ah, we are actually getting our parchment and stuff up here. I don't think they need anything to write with. We have to make them things to write on. I'm pretty sure they handle the stuff to write with on their own. They're already using the seating. They're not really discussing stuff yet. Probably because there are... Did you just walk over the entire table? Lady. Look at those eyebrows. She's interested after reading Factual Masterscript. At the very worst, even if they don't have anywhere to put the scroll rollers, hopefully they'll actually just keep them on the station. He is carrying blocks from further away than he needs to, though, so we'll make it so that this picks up from the stone stockpile here. We also want it to pick up from here. That may have interrupted everything. Non-economic. Limestone, they might not be able to build with. Yeah. Okay. Let's just block that off then. We'll need them to haul some stuff. That's why they were bringing stuff from elsewhere. So we'll cancel those requirements for now. They can bring stuff from elsewhere. I just want stuff in the library to be going. Yes, that was built so much faster. This little one I will have to leave open though. We've got some thread spun. I like how if it's a named creature, it tells us it's the wool from that specific creature. Okay, we actually have a decent amount of weapons. I need to get some blocks done. I want to finish this area. Then add a little sleeping area over here. Let's do that. Then we can make it so that some squads sleep up here, so that they're never down here in these levels sleeping, not able to do anything. Oh, again, I forgot to leave those central stairs. Like, I need that block in the center to build the stairs out of, otherwise we gotta manually do it. It's a bit of a pain. Yeah, lines up down there too. So when the crafting levels expand, this should do. Yeah, that doesn't really need to go up anyway. This one could. It's so easy to forget the spaces right underneath where the doors go. But if somebody falls asleep in their doorway, you know, it should be smoothed. Wow, that's a lot of squads practicing at once. Uh-oh. What? The final alpaca? No, dude. We lost him. Spattered with river spirits. The river spirits got him. Oh, no. Oh. And a dog and a cat? In completely different areas, too. Oh, man. What happened? Why is a Gelder fighting? What the fuck? Guys. Okay, the fight stopped pretty fast. That's a bit of a strange one. A little scuffle there. It's not an open case, so apparently all is well. Why did they get into a fight? Right foot bone needs setting, smashed apart. Ability to grasp somewhat impaired. Right lower arm bone overlapping fractured and smashed apart. Did they even fight on purpose, or did they just bump into each other? I think they may have tripped each other down the stairs or something. Afraid after experiencing trauma. Annoyed after suffering a minor injury. Minor. Afraid after experiencing trauma. Hopeless after suffering a major injury. Gratitude after being rescued. And guilty after being able to rest and recuperate. Feels restless after being able to rest and recuperate. They hate sleeping in the hospital. They hate waiting to get better. That is one of the most relatable things. Yeah, see, it looks like they just tripped down the stairs or something. Maybe they tripped over each other. This is a busy area. It had to happen eventually, I guess. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I made... Yes. The cat and the dog are buried. I feel like we should be able to at least make a slab in honor of the animals that we've lost, though. Can we not see the name? Yeah, it does show animals, but it's not showing the nicknames, I don't think. What a shame. I wanted to memorialize the final alpaca. I could have them build an alpaca statue. That's what I could do. Hello, Lebvi. How's it going? Been a minute. Here we go. Creature? Alpaca. I think the final alpaca was a female alpaca. We can't list it. Okay. The final alpaca is not a historical figure. Okay, we've got an image of an alpaca. Oh wow. In the fetal position. We can have them striking a triumphant pose. Being tortured. I've got some Dr. Pepper today. Alright, I can't think of anything else notable. Pepper! Pepper's a fun one. We got lots of animals we could name Pepper. Wow, you can piece together words using this. The gloved friend. That's not exactly what I'm going for. Woolly friend? Fuzzy? Well, he's not a furry, but the big bald friend, the bad bald friend. Wow, there's lots of options here. The pregnant friend. I have not completed Stardew Valley, but I will probably go back to it. Oh, I saw comedic. Hazel Bobbin. Okay. We have a custom statue for the final alpaca. I think I want to make one for the pig Genghis Khan as well. We also have a dwarf version of Karen. That pig, I think it was a disagreeable pig. Can we make them brawling with somebody? I know that pig liked to brawl. We could have them striking a menacing pose. Triumphant pose still works. We'll keep it consistent. Oh boy. See, the naming it is difficult. Oh, see, the joy would work. Joy. There we go. Keep it simple. I didn't finish Stardew Valley. I did kind of just get bored of it for now. But I will surely return to it. Just felt like different games for now. I was missing Dwarf Fortress. Gotta look after me dwarves. And now we have a thriving capital city. You know what would be easier? Just gonna do this, actually. Because we're gonna end up building a floor anyway. May as well make the construction of the walls easier with the floor. Hopefully none of them fall down doing something silly during the construction of that. Henteon has been missing for a week. What's going on? We've lost a hen? Somebody's got to check on Shiko. What's going on? Is the murder chicken at it again? Farmitage. Afraid after experiencing trauma. Hello, Karen. I'm doing all right. How you doing? Oh, also, since we lost the final alpaca and we lost the pig Genghis Karen, I've got 2 statues commissioned. One for each of you. I think we'll have a memorial hall for the animals, the named animals that we lose. Now we gotta make one of a chicken. These are racking up fast. It may actually just be old age if all of these are dying around the same time and we had them at the beginning. Oh. I am happy that you are happy about it. I'm like, well, if I'm making one for the final alpaca, then gotta make one for Karen. To the throne room. Oh, that would be awesome. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. And then, like, if the throne room needs to get bigger to house all of the statues, then it totally can. They're not gonna complain about it. Alright, we need a hen. It's an image of a hen. That's so bad. No. No, the fact that I can do that. A very respectful statue. Melting. Smeared out into a spiral. Suffering. Let's have a laughing hen for Henteon. The Cobalt Attack. We'll keep that for now. The names are a bit more difficult to mess around with. Alright, we've got 3 statues commissioned. None of the rest of them are allowed to die now. Apparently some of them just went missing, including Henteon. A logia? What is a logia? Historian excitement. You're gonna have to define that one for me. Yeah, we're making statues of the named animals that we've lost, since we can't do the slabs engraved. A room in Roman houses that was filled with statues and had a large ornate throne. Yeah, pretty much. That is what our throne room is going to be. You're watching history happen. The modern equivalent, Karen says, would be the gamer room. It has a gaming chair and Funko Pops. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's plastic, so it'll probably last even longer than the statues. Oh, they were found dead. Where were they? Oh, they're in there. They just hadn't been checked on in a while. Okay. I'm guessing it's Harmitage. It's definitely the murder chicken. Never before have you gone from historian excitement to historian disappointment so quickly. Clicky. Well, it's kind of amazing how there's never any evidence, and he's always like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm afraid after experiencing trauma. Maybe he doesn't mean to. Maybe he just plays too hard. You know? He doesn't even know why they died, you know? Like, it's a dead duck, it's a dead hen. Farmitage is Harmitage. Yes. He's a witness to the crime. Yeah, sure. Modern civilization one-upped the Roman Empire with Funko Pops. They may be smaller, but they will last forever. You are not getting rid of them. An elven caravan. Sure, we have something to sell you. Well, definitely don't show them anything we've seen so far. They would hate all that. I don't know if they'd even like books because they're made of paper. Or parchment. Even worse. If you have a Funko Pop of Thor from Avengers, you have a statue of a god in your throne room. Whoa, wait. Wait, because it's Thor. It's Thor, you know? You make a very good point there. Are they going to be okay with petrified wood? I don't even know. I'm not going to risk it. These elves are rude. I see why the dwarves have a grudge. They always show up when I don't have anything to give them as well. I don't really have enough drink to share. I feel like they'd probably be okay with the drink, but not giving them weapons. Let's see if they even have anything that I want, I guess. Oh boy, more kittens. think we may need a cat room. You just anxiously checked for statues? Like, do I have any statues that I didn't think of as statues until this point? I just realized I have a friend that gave me Funko Pops at one point. So I totally have some. It was Mr. Meeseeks and... what's his name? Squanchy. She gave me Mr. Meeseeks and Squanchy. Those are the statues I have. Although we are loath to spare a single branch to your senseless slaughter, we are willing to ask that you cap your tree fells at 25. Ah, we can part with at most 48, butcher. Karen has no statues. I wouldn't have them if I wasn't given them, so... Cancels drink interrupted by buzzard. Oh, he's drinking river water for some reason. I've got a full well. Another dead duck, huh? It is starting to stink up the place. Also, that guinea hen looked cool. Oh, wow! The peahens have different looks, too. Nobody's picking up the corpses. Alright, what have they got for us this time? The capital is crowded, yeah, 257 dwarves. Greetings, we are enchanted by your more ethical works. We've come to trade. You've got boulders, you've got logs, you've got a lot of instruments for me. They heard I like instruments. Worm cage? Why do you even need a cage for the worm? What kind of cage do they have for a worm? It's just a teeny little box? Can't believe the broker's awake fair. He must have been in the tavern drinking or something. He was there fast. Clicky, you think the only inanimate, carved, or cast things you own are a hair stand, cardboard boxes, desks, chairs, and pictures. The pictures would probably be of note if they weren't too, like, faded to see. Red Panda! They're selling it cheap, too. I don't think I'm gonna buy a worm off of them. Why is the Red Panda only 15 coins more expensive than the worm? A kiwi and a loon. A swan. Another magpie. A jaguar. I'll take a jaguar. I want all of these. See, they always bring animals that I want, even though they aren't the big animals for the most part. I want the animals. I might even let the dwarves adopt the jaguars and stuff as a pet. I think that's the way to do it so that they'll feed them. It's the reason I'm keeping so much stuff in cages right now, like the panda and stuff like that. They don't seem to eat on their own. Okay, we need more stuff to bring them. What have we got? We can actually sell them. A worm cage, yeah. Oh, true. A lot of clothes are made with, like, really long-lasting stuff now. I can't have anything that's in a bin. It's made of wood. Can't have any body parts. Can't have anything too heavy. Could sell them a bunch of lead cages. This doesn't specify whether there's stuff like creatures in them. Let's give them some mugs. You forgot about clothes. Karen, you were like, what living things does Clicky wear? Clicky does wear leather jackets a lot. I mean, they're not currently living, but it was once. You know? So does plant-based stuff. You know, like, plant-based stuff falls into that category too, thinking about it. Alright, so they shouldn't take any issue with our mugs because those are made of stone. If they do, then they're just being rude. Which, frankly, we do expect from the elves at this point. Starting to see the dwarves' side of it. Okay, it's only like a few hundred that we need. All this will build up fast. Talc ones aren't worth very much. Petrified wood I'm gonna skip just because I don't know how weird the elves are about that. Alright, hopefully that will be enough. Some more migrants. That's why the number's going up. So do synthetic stuff because they're made from oil, and that's just trees that lived before bacteria that could eat lignin involved. Oh, yeah, see, like, the elves are just impossible to work with. They've got all kinds of double standards. The only thing that's not living is metal or rock, then, I guess. I mean, even rock is just consolidated dead things, isn't it? To a certain extent. Yeah. He's like, dirt isn't living, but it isn't. You know? There's lots of living things in dirt. There's lots of living things that become bits of dirt, you know? I don't know anymore. Was that an alpaca lung roast? Ooh. We've got rotting food and we can't sell food to the elves. Pig sweetbread. Only some rocks, and most metal, I think, was never alive at any point. Okay. Okay. We're gonna find out that space rocks are actually alive. All the rare elements that we've been using. Are these two grand pianos in the tavern? Pretty much, yeah. Nugget. Chalk is literally crushed shells of zooplankton. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about where it's like, it's not alive, but is it? Like, it was part of a living thing at one point. It starts to just depend on how you define things. Alright, I don't want to buy the worm from them. That just seems a bit excessive. Which I do want all of these. You know what? I will even take the camel. You know what? What if somebody adopts the worm? Wouldn't it be funny if somebody adopted a worm? I've got enough money for it now. I'm getting it. We'll buy the worm. At this point, they think that they're scamming us. And I'm just amused by the idea of somebody adopting a worm. Alright, we're not gonna have them in the tavern because last time we did, people got weird about it and animals ended up dead. So for the sake of the animals, I am going to have them in the back areas of the churches. The camel can go outside though. Why did anybody make lead cages? We've probably got them because we bought them off of people. They've got the jaguar in a plumwood cage. They really trust the wood. Oh. This is why we have not opened the caverns yet. A forgotten beast. An enormous quadruped composed of clear glass. It has square shell and it undulates rhythmically. Beware its deadly dust. Ooh. Because it's made of glass? Also, coprolites, and fossils are rocks through chemical substitution where the minerals in the bones and feces are replaced over millions of years with different minerals, forming a rock complex similar to the rock surrounding it. There are fossils made entirely out of opal, and you've seen a trilobite fossil made entirely of iron pyrite, which is also known as fool's gold because of how close it looks to actual gold, but very shiny. Karen, imagine making a cage for a worm for real, though. Like, what? Ooh, in your country, at one point, the government decided that anything the government gets rid of, ever, needs an appraisal document. Suddenly, all kinds of trash, anything state offices threw away, needed an appraisal document. So broken glasses would need a 15-page professional appraisal before you could throw them away. Good times! Ooh. Yeah, that sounds like a bit of a problem. But at the same time, it's like, how do you handle it? What do you even do about something like that? Because there is a trash problem in the world, let alone in specific places. Uninvited guest is right. Oh, look at it. I hadn't seen this yet. Like, they've got different looks for the things. And we can actually see, like, what color it is now. That's really cool. Alright, so how old is this one? 296 years old, this Forgotten Beast is. Yeah, it's got a shell, a square shell, it said. That is a monster. The worm cage reminded you of that by sheer pointlessness. Very fair. Very fair. Clicky likes paperwork and that sounds like hell. Karen, this is legit the first time you're hearing, I like paperwork and I genuinely mean that as a compliment. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's the first time I'm hearing it, but also, it is very rare, and there have to be some people who like paperwork. Otherwise, no paperwork could ever get done. This monster is scary as fuck and has great analytical abilities. Oh, we're cooked. Yeah, it's literally made of glass. That's the only thing helping us, except it has deadly dust, which is really not a fun one to go against. If it had poor analytical abilities, we could have at least had a chance, yeah. It recovers quickly, it resists sickness, it has high stamina. And yeah, its personality, it has great analytical abilities, a natural inclination towards language, and a sum of patience. But it has meager creativity, poor focus, and a poor memory. It can get caught up in internal deliberations when action is necessary. That might help us. It only rarely feels... It might overthink. It'll literally overthink. Made of glass going against rock-throwing dwarves. See, they're not rock-throwing. The thing is, these dwarves, we had to convince them to stop biting things. If they try to bite a creature made of glass that produces deadly dust, they're going to have a very bad time. I'd like to use ranged attacks on it, but again, it's made of glass, so they might need to go up and smash it, but deadly dust is going to be a really bad time. It's very comfortable around others that are different from itself. Tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. Somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. Good. It has a calm demeanor. Doesn't focus on material goods. It's pleased by its own appearance and talents. It thinks it's gorgeous. Doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living. And it's quick to anger. So a few things there that if we had a lot of control, we could use against it. All of my best friends are weird. If you're not a weirdo, I don't know if I want to talk to you. Yeah, I think everyone's weird in their own way, and that's beautiful. Well, this guy, I'm glad that it has self-confidence. It won't matter, but good for it. So we spotted it just on the edge. Oh, wait. It was right on top of the obsidian area. See, that right there is actually the area that we're going to want to dig into if we want to find the magma and the, specifically want to tempt fate and find good loot, but also risk digging into hell. That's the area that we start if we're going to do that. See, there's like black diamonds and stuff like that. Yeah, that will lead us down. It's interesting that it approached from that side. It shouldn't be able to get in. It shouldn't even know that we're here, really. The thing with these forgotten beasts, it may just wander off into another cavern. It may end up just staying around here for a good long time. Looks like it went down into the deeper levels that we haven't explored. So it's probably like it's still loaded in. It is somewhere down there still right now. However... Oh, the one that went insane finally. Finally died. Yeah, it might wander away. We might never see that thing again. We might run into it at some point in the future when we open up the caverns. It's an unknown. It's a monster that uses dust as a weapon. Flood the mine. Yeah, not a bad bet. Pokemon super effective noises. It is a pretty terrifying monster, yeah. I do not like that it uses dust to fight. Those tend to be really rough ones to get rid of. Made of glass isn't so bad, though. They can be made of some really tough materials. And that is right about when it gets terrifying. Does that list it by whether it's in a place? No, it doesn't. Damn. It'd be nice to be able to arrange it by stuff that's assigned and stuff that isn't assigned. Which it does not look like that's gonna happen. There is our camel. So the red panda apparently is a grazer, but I'm guessing that it's going to have the same issue as the other panda. It's probably just that their food of choice isn't in this area. Oh, clicky! Beaver teeth are made partially of iron. So there are some metals that were part of something living. Yeah, because they're incorporating it into their teeth. There are deep sea snails with iron in their shells. So yeah, like, that's complicated. And then it's like, is a shell a part of a living thing? Or, I don't know, do we consider that just something it's carrying? That seems to depend on the creature. Because I know that, like, turtles, you can definitely hurt a turtle by messing with their shell. But something like a hermit crab, the shell isn't really a part of them. They're taking something else's shell and just hanging out in it. Doesn't even have to really be a shell. They use garbage for that too. Oh, we've got some choirs in here for them to work on. We're starting to get stuff put together. We need to be producing paper before that'll be significant, though. We'll bring this up one more level. And then we'll do a floor up here, even it all out. Iron in blood. Good point, hemoglobin. Side note, imagine the look on Katara's face when she finds out that Toph can bloodbend too. Toph definitely figured out enough that she totally could bloodbend. Like, totally. I'd be surprised if Toph couldn't figure it out, you know? Any earthbender that can metal bend can also blood bend because of the iron in blood. Yeah, exactly. Like, it might be a slightly different process, but we saw when she figured out metal bending, the process that she used, you could totally use that on blood if you got that, like, refined enough. I like that there are humans joining our fort as well. It is mostly dwarves still. Oh, they're starting to discuss stuff. Sutures, within reason. There's a dead cave spider all the way up here. These cats are a menace. I gotta deal with the numbers again. That's a lot of kittens. It's a lot of kittens. Okay, most of the cats are fixed. We've got a lot of guinea pigs. We've still got Clucky H at least. We're starting to get quite a few dogs. I am kind of okay with this, but we will fix a handful of them. So I'm sure we got some puppies right now too. Look at all those ewes. Ew. Alright, the eagle is available as a pet. Just nobody wants it yet. The dwarves definitely have a preference for certain animals over others. Like the monkeys, they adopted immediately. Immediately. Ooh. Okay. We can give it war training and hunting training. We could have a war jaguar. We don't have multiple jaguars though. I kind of want to have more than one before we dedicate it to war. But we'll let somebody adopt it so that they'll actually feed it. And we gotta go through all of these kittens and take care of that. Okay, the kiwi's adorable. We could probably... I don't know if I want to put the kiwi in there with Farmitage. You know what? We'll let somebody adopt the kiwi for now. Ooh, got more up here. We can have them adopt. Yes, tame worm. Tame worm. If somebody adopts that worm, I'm gonna be so happy. It's just so good. Okay, we have too many alpaca, so I'm going to kill a few of them. Sorry, ladies. There's just so many of you. save that one. Alright, that brings it down to 4. We always have so many piggies. Alright, where is that kiwi? I think I'll put the swan up for adoption too. No, we'll keep the birds in with the birds. If we get more, then we want more birds, you know? Although we're not really getting baby birds. Oh boy. That said, a physicist would be terrifying in the Avatar world. Oh yeah. Because any firebender that can lightning bend can bend electricity. Our entire nervous system, brain, and heart completely run on electricity. So any sufficiently knowledgeable and skilled firebender can not only read minds from a distance, but also directly control thoughts and shut down brains. Exactly, like, it's not just that they can use it to, like, kill somebody, you know, just, like, end them. Without much of an argument, you know? But also, you could make them think that all of it is their idea. You don't even have to get rid of them. You can just manipulate them in a way that nobody's even gonna, like, know. That's way too powerful. That's why nobody knows about anybody who can do that. There is no education in Ba Sing Se. This is why you kind of liked Korra more than Aang. Has a little jolt of realness to it, at least in vibes. You know what? Okay, I will give you this. I think, for me, certain things, it's better if I treat them as entirely separate. I can't really do that with Korra, because it's definitely in the same world. You know, there's people that were involved in the previous stories that are involved in that one, but also, like, it's the way that they add to it. I can't ignore the other series, but it's such a different vibe. And I don't know if I liked the realness in that world. But also, again, if I was to treat it like any other series, you know, like if I was to treat it like any other show independent of the rest of the series, then I would like it. I would like that realness. It's just, the vibe in Last Airbender has a certain level of whimsy to it that I got attached to, I think. The characters are weaker. Yeah, I think they kind of are. But it definitely, yeah, it tries to do something more grounded, political, exploratory, and social. I felt like leaning into the, like, romances and stuff like that in Korra at first felt like kind of a weak fan servicey move where they're just trying to get people invested in the characters, you know, when I was already invested enough in the characters, you know. But then they actually did bring it around into the story. Like, they end up messing up certain situations because they're messing around with somebody who's influential, and what they do matters to the plot, you know, the main story beyond the romance. So, like, if they mess up in the romance, then they've messed up in the other part of the plot, too. It actually ties it. Why is a scribe and a dog fighting? What are y'all fighting about? Oh. We're gelding a dog. Did I Did I ask them to do that? I must have. Oh yeah, I didn't want quite as many. I did end up buying the worm. We had enough, and it's way too funny to me. It's way too funny. Actually, did we place it? Where is the worm cage? There's our red panda. They must have not unpacked the worm cage yet. But we should. Yeah, the worm is available as a pet currently. So if any of the dwarves likes it, they can keep it. How could they not unpack the worm cage? This is a matter of utmost priority. Honestly, just to figure out how they decided on creating a cage that can contain a worm. Rather than just like a little box or something like that, they created a cage that can contain a worm. I want to know what design they went with. Has to be like a metal mesh, right? Right? But they're elves. They don't even use metal. Clicky thinks that they were thematically fitting. Sokka was the oldest of the gang in Legend of Aang, but Katara is the most emotionally mature. Of course, everything they encounter is childlike. They're children, without an adult to influence their perception of things. Korra, on the other hand, is late teens when the show begins, not the oldest of the group. Also, the perceived reality that Korra as a show is more adult, dealing with politics and economics. That's where the character... Well, actually, I get where you're going with that, and actually that makes a great deal of sense. Because it's not that there's different stuff in the world, right? Like, that kind of stuff was going on to some extent the whole time. It's just Aang wasn't focused on that. You know, like, they were children, but they were also nomads. They did not stay anywhere for very long. Also, Aang is the ultimate chosen one. Sorry, this is not something you can do twice. You can't make part 2 even more chosen one-y. You have to pivot to some exploration to something else. Yeah, like, Korra, for most of it, it was so much more about the world politics and stuff like that than it was about the actual Avatar gig. She didn't even know what being the Avatar was about for most of it. I don't think it was till, like, the end that the actual impact of that sunk in for her, what her actual job was. Mm. 9/11 happened in the same world as Pokemon, Clicky says. But you were 7 at the time. So you're pretty sure you didn't even know it happened, and you were considerably more interested in your Pokemon. If you'd been 17, you'd definitely be more interested in 9/11 happening. Oh yeah. I was young enough at the time that I didn't even really get what was going on, other than the adults are freaked out. The High Master Pump Operator is meditating on fertility. Maybe he should adopt the worm. Karen Aang is the ultimate chosen one story. Yeah, I had missed this part before I saw the response. This is not something you can do twice. You can't make part 2. Yeah. Oh no, I already read that. Okay. Alright, I'm caught up on the conversation, but yeah. Yeah, the pump operator. He is a high master pump operator. And he's meditating on fertility. Now, on that note, I think I should stop. Okay, I've walked in on something I shouldn't have. Oh no, man. Oh no. But we've made some decent progress today, I'd say. We've actually got some supplies in the library. We've just about got this going. And this one little thing before I look away. And found a scary ass monster. Bought a worm. W stream all in all. Absolutely. It all worked out. It's all coming together. Soon enough, our dwarves will be producing a whole bunch of books. Classic personal history. All right. This has been fun. Thank you all for showing up today. Thanks for gaming with me, making it a great stream. Bye, friends.